just like, God damn, like, nah.
Just her presence was unsettling.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, like it was conquering, like her whole demeanor was mad domineering, like all around. And shit, at the time I couldn't get with it. I was, and also that's what makes me really very, very rebellious, like very, very stubborn, rebellious, like just everything. And I remember when I, what happened?
No, I was just saying I can relate, but yeah, I was just trying to.
Yeah, it was just one of those things, man. Like I just know if I have kids, like I know like Kayshawn, you Damon, you Daniel, you guys got kids and stuff like that. Um, for the people coming up now, things are a lot different. But I know for me, like when I have kids, I'm not doing them the way I was getting done. I ain't gonna lie. Now, in some situations, it did help. It kept me grounded, but overall, uh, psychologically, I just don't think that was it.
I mean, to be
How,
fair, what's up? No, you're
no,
good
no,
there.
no. Go ahead, go ahead. I was gonna branch off what he said, but I'm gonna let you get your thought out.
No, that was kind of how I felt about like that's how I kind of feel like about like negative feedback or so not negative feedback, but like overly
Reinforcement.
critical. Huh?
You talking about when we have talking about like negative reinforcement versus
Yeah,
positive
yeah,
reinforcement?
exactly. I think it has like long-term psychological effects, even if it may get immediate results or short-term results. I think that in the long run, it may do more damage. It's kind of one of those things that you don't see the negative until like later on, and you be like, oh shit, maybe that was a bad idea. But you got the results right away. So it's kind of like, well, this shit is working, so let me keep doing it. I feel like that the same way with getting your ass whooped, where that shit works for at first, and then fucking years down, you see the repercussions, and you're like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that. And then by then, it's just like all this work to fucking undo all that shit and all that like trauma. But you get.
I just think it
For
was I just think it was one of those quick fix type of things. Like or at least my mom, she would just on some, let me get you on some quick fix shit. This is gonna work temporarily, but then like you were saying, damn, like I just feel like it created a lot of long-term negatives.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that shit was, my mom, she used to beat the shit out of all of us. My older sister too. What? Used to slap the shot her to grab her by a fucking weave, sling her. I seen some wild shit. But
Bro, I got immune to the ass whoopings at one point. I must have got calluses or something because I remember one day my mom, she started whooping my ass. I started crying before because it was just like habitual. You know, the belt comes out and you just start crying. And then she whooped my ass. And I'm like, yo, like, hold on. That shit didn't even hurt. I'm used to this shit. And that's when, yeah, then the stepdad comes in and then the enforcer, them shits fucking hurt.
oh,
That's when I stopped getting beatings. Actually, I was 13. I got my last whooping when I was 13. I was at school, and I might have, Dan and Mugga may or may not know this story. Long story less long. We one of my it's like PA class. It's class, but we was outside and we was playing flag football. But he broke it down into like 6v6. It was smaller games, so like two teams are on and two teams are off. And my game had just finished, so I'm on the sideline. My homegirl Sarah, never forget her. She had a Walkman. She had like a CD Walkman, and I asked her if I could use it while she was playing because her team went on. She was like, "Yeah." And my best friend at the time, my nigga Steven, um, shout out Steve, um, he heard her, must have heard her, and he took it before I got it. So when I went over to the side to go grab the shit, he was antagonizing me. He had it in his hand. I'm just like, Steve, like, give me the shit. Like she said I could rock with it. And he wouldn't give it to me. And I got tight. I got fucking tight, right? So I'm like cussing at him and doing all this shit. I'm like cussing my boy out. And I took his jacket. He was sitting on his pickup truck. It was like a school truck that like shovel snow or whatever the fuck it did, but just had like the school shit on it. And his jacket was on it. I took his jacket off the hood and I slammed it right behind me.
oh shit, he was about to come for your ass, nigga.
Not even. So he was sitting on the hood of the car and I took his jacket and I slammed it behind me. The person who was actually standing behind me was my father. Ha 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 ha. My father was standing right behind me, bro. The whole time I'm 13. I'm cussing this nigga out. I'm like, fuck out of here, you stupid ass.
Oh
And
Your dad had
no.
a
real
belt
shit.
on like this
No funny
Oh,
shit.
shit.
I did just like
on
that.
his hand, just like I'm
I
ready
did
for
just
your
like that. I
ass, nigga.
grabbed it and I slammed it. But so the nigga, he was like, yo, your grades was good. And I heard some shit about you at school. And I came to school to pull up on you and give you props. And I come outside and I catch you. And I come outside and I catch you doing this. He was like, he touched
Fuck
me.
them props.
Now he dapped me up. He's like, I'll see you when you get home. I go to the crib. You know I'm shaking, right? You know I'm shook, bro. I'm shook. It's all imminent in my mind. And the nigga act completely normal. Don't touch me. He don't bring it up. No nothing. The days go by. Nigga, I go on summer break. No funny shit. In the summer break, my cousin LaDante is staying at my house. My sister is at my house. We watching movies. Out of nowhere, random evening. Eugene. I'm like, yes. He's like, come downstairs. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, yeah, keep watching the movie. I'll be right back. I go,
Innocent victim.
our back porch on the first floor was like enclosed. So it was detached from the house. Have you ever been to Ashton House, Dan?
Mhm.
You know how Ashton back porch is?
Yeah.
That's how our shit is. That's how it was. And he was standing on the back porch with the belt in his hand. Random. So I done forgot about the shit. I forgot about the
What
shit.
the
Like,
fuck?
it's at the end of summer break. I forgot about it, bro.
He
Like,
wanted to catch your ass slipping.
slipping,
He wanted to
falling.
make sure
wanted
he
to
wasn't
catch
gonna
your
go
ass
into next
slipping.
school
Rest in
year on
peace
that
to X.
bullshit.
That's what he wanted to do. He was waiting. He was timing that shit. He knew I'm gonna whoop his ass on this date. So
Nigga,
I'm gonna get his ass.
he whooped my ass and I thugged it out. Like, to Damon's point, like I was like, like, yeah, it had a
Yeah,
little
nigga,
sting
what's
on it,
good? What's good?
and I was the last beating I ever got.
Damn.
I never got a beating after that day.
That's crazy. My man waited until he had a bad day to give you a bad day.
Real shit. That ass. No, he did. That's exactly what it seemed like. But to his point, I feel like those things have lasting effects on your children. You know, those things.
That's a fact.
Hell yeah, dude.
Play-
Nigga,
you played a
remember that
mind game with
story?
me.
Shit, you remember that story to a T. So you know that shit was like profound. And your memory bank, like you always remember those legendary ass whoopings. I swear, like, oh man. I remember my mom whooped my ass in the car and she was driving the shit. Like she like left hand in the what's that? What was that 2 Chainz line? Like left hand on the steering wheel or right hand?
Nah, don't go to down. No.
But
Yeah.
in that case, in her case,
The right hand was on something else, bro.
in her
Oh
case,
yeah.
in her case, her left hand was on that steering wheel, nigga, and she was just bang, just eating my ass. I was like, oh my goodness, mother. Why are you doing this?
So this is not.
She couldn't even wait until we got. That's how you know her emotions was going on crazy. She couldn't even wait. She didn't even want to think it out. She was swerving on the road in the yellow lines and doing all that type of shit. I'm just like, God damn, lady. Like, I didn't know it was that bad that you had to do this right on the road. We could have got home and you could have done all this shit. Well, shit, we could have got home, been in the driveway. You could have did this shit in the driveway.
Right.
We didn't have to wait until we got in the fucking house. And she didn't give a fuck. She didn't give a goddamn.
She had to start using her hands so the anger could calm down. Cause if she would have waited until she got home, who knows? You might not be here today.
Right.
It sounded like she was trying to kill her.
To be fair, I think a lot of what causes a lot of the issue is that I feel like a lot of those beatings do come out of like frustration and like negative emotion. It's kind of like energy transference. Like, let's say I'm frustrated, and then even if I don't necessarily beat my child, even if I'm just like yelling and passing that energy on, I feel like even that is still like the same type of shit. You just passing on that negative energy. So I mean, it just depends on the state of mind. I kind of like the idea. If I'm not saying I'm gonna start whooping ass, but it was an interesting concept that Eugene, you say your dad, he didn't beat you that day. It was kind of like, if anything, that's, again, I don't even know if I'm gonna do it, but it seems to be like that's a good time to like cool off, you process what's going on, and see if maybe do I still want to beat her ass, or like, because I have a daughter, I still want to beat her ass, like, and if I do, maybe it'll come from a place of like objection, being objective, but who knows? I'm too early in parenting.
I have a
I
question.
don't know if I'm like. Go ahead, Mug. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm conflicted. Like, if I say if I have all daughters, I'll never beat my kids. I'll never beat my daughter.
Oh, I was gonna. So just to play off the daughter thing, actually, I was gonna say, Dan and Dame, do you guys feel like if you guys had a son, you guys would treat your son differently from how you raise your daughter?
Duh.
I know some
Yeah.
people don't think like that. I'm telling you, I've seen it.
Then they're nuts. You can't
Duh,
raise.
how? I'm curious on the duh. Like,
You can't
certain
raise.
things-
You can't treat your child the same. You cannot raise them the exact same.
not the exact same, but I think same core values. So I don't understand.
Well,
But we're talking
hold on.
about beatings and child abuse and shit like that, right? So we're not talking about like core values.
That just
We're
branching
talking
out
about
to a whole
discipline.
new. Right.
Yeah, but discipline. You're saying you're not going to discipline your daughter the same way you discipline your son.
Yeah, if I punch
I
my
don't
son in the
know.
chest, I'm not gonna punch my daughter in the chest.
But I probably wouldn't punch my son in the chest then.
Yeah, but let's say I found out my son spit on a girl at school. I'm a fold his fucking chest. Best believe I am. If my daughter do that shit, there's no way I'm punching my daughter.
But what's the difference between like? There's a lot of. If he spit on a nigga, is that okay?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's different. That's where the double standards come from, though. Like there is double
Yo.
standards and stuff
No,
like that.
it's also about like a man hitting a woman. Why would I hit my daughter? Why would I
Right.
put my bare hands
So
on my
women
Well,
daughter?
I mean,
hit
it's a
women
double
then.
standard, though. That's a
The
double
women
standard.
can hit men.
No, how is it a double standard? In no scenario in life is it okay for a man to hit a woman.
It's not saying that it's okay, but there is a difference in terms of how wrong something is compared to the other.
Yeah.
Right,
If a woman hit a man, if a woman hit a man, is it the feeling of it is different.
Oh,
if,
you're seeing that. Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
Yeah, but y'all are talking about y'all are flip flopping right now.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, like Moga, what you're saying is completely different than what Eugene is talking about.
Right.
Oh no, I was just talking about what I was referring to, and then Eugene was saying he thought I was saying something.
Anyway, to get back on topic, I'm gonna just say this. Whether you have a son or daughter, I don't really think it's about 100% how you treat one or the other. I think you'll realize that they actually treat you differently. You know what I mean? Like I've met a lot of different parents in the last year, 2 years or whatever. And it's like, yo, everyone that has a son has similar stories. Everyone that has a daughter has similar stories. So I feel like it's not just a bias thing on the parent, because you're responding to how this smaller human being is acting. You know what I'm saying? And from my experience, boys just wild as fuck. So
Well, I mean that's
Like,
kind of
your
the
daughter
general
go
sense.
fuck
Though.
around and do some Montana Fishborn shit. You know what I mean? Your daughter.
Oh.
Oh,
Listen. There's a scenario in my family right now where there is a very young woman in my family, albeit my extended family is still my family. She's not even a young woman. She's a girl. She's a kid.
Right.
And
Right.
she's doing a lot of adult things and she's
Mm.
not listening. She's leaving the house and she is picking locks and she is missing for days. And
You don't think she should need to get punched in the chest?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I think she needs more mental love than just getting punched, because that don't make that shit don't make shit better, honestly.
You know,
It
she's
depends on the person.
That's
adult.
it. Yeah, that too.
It's always going to be dependent upon the person because some people are going to respond to it differently than others,
Right.
regardless.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, me personally, if I have a son and a daughter, I'm not disciplining them the same.
No
You
way.
can't really discipline them the same.
I think
As
it's
far
less
as
than-
like, as far as like, if you're physically gonna touch your children, you can't discipline your son the same way you discipline your daughter. We're talking about like discipline as far as how long you're grounded for, and if you have to not have phone privileges and all that shit, then yeah, that's a different. That's different. But
In
I'm talking
terms-
about like, what happened?
And I was just gonna say, so basically, like physical abuse, you're not gonna do it the same.
Bye.